Slickville. Hey, I am your host, Jay Slick, aka Downtown Jay Brown, real name Jason, aka Atlanta's favorite Lyft driver. We are in these streets. Hey, I just want to start out by thanking everybody for tuning in. Look, I do not take this for granted, so I just want to let you know, thank you. You're gonna get my all when I'm on this on the station, and so I want to just thank a couple people, pops, moms, sister to sister, brother, everybody that's tuning in right now. Now that we got that on out the way, oh, thank you, Jesus. And now that we got that out the way, let's have some fun. All right. So, quick background on the name of the show. 710 in Slickville is simply my birthday, 710. So make sure you write that down. All right. Slickville is the place where all the random thoughts, stories, entertaining, observations that I have, and the variety of subjects reside. All right. So let's get to the funny. Let's go. Now, real quick, I want to try something for my show real quick just to make sure that I put out the best, and I want this to be an interactive show. I want this to be the best as possible, okay? Best show as possible. So what I want to do is make sure I have the best content for you. So when you hear something that you really, really like, I need you to flood the screens with thumbs up. It's the blue button. If you actually laugh at something, hit that heart for your boy. Hit that heart for me, okay? Because I want to see it. I need to see these things flooding the screen. All right, just hit that heart, hit that heart, hit that heart. I want to see you do it for a minute. Let's give y'all like 10 seconds to go ahead and hit that heart for me so I can see those hearts going across the screen. All right, just hit that for me real quick. Hit it. Let's go. Okay, that's cool. That's all good. All right, and so what I also want to do is on today's show, what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about the true Lyft lies. We're going to have what the hell news, and we also going with our alternative facts that will make you smile. We also going to talk about some petty-ish, as well as a segment that I'm really looking forward to called Ask Jay. All right, Ask Jay is I got some questions already that I'm looking forward to answering. Also, that's towards the end of the show. I need you all to call in, and I will answer your questions live on the air, okay? And we're also going to have a special guest, the dating doctor. The dating doctor is coming in. I've been knowing this guy for a long time, so he's going to answer all of your relationship questions and get you all set up on the perfect relationship for you. But like I said, Atlanta's favorite Lyft driver is on the scene right now with this week's True Lyft Lies. All right? And so look, the thing about me driving for Lyft is it gives me a lot of interaction with random people. And this story this guy is called Pete. All right, I'm just gonna make up a name because I don't know if they can have us giving out their real names and whatnot. But Pete, I was riding one Saturday morning, 5 o'clock. Didn't really get any rides starting off in the morning. Ended up by Cheshire Bridge. Now, if anybody know what Cheshire Bridge is, you know about it if you stay in Atlanta. If you don't, Trinidad James was talking about it, where those bad hoes at Onyx be. All right? I did not pick up no bad hoe from Onyx. This was not even a pickup that I had to actually do. Pulled up to this spot that I had never seen before. It had a lot of pink lights on it. I'm not going to call out the name because some of y'all people might know what it is. But I pulled up. Pete was not ready for me. Pulled up, called Pete. Pete answered. I told him, look, hey, I'm about to pull around back. Now I'm thinking that Pete worked there because it looked dark in the storefront. But until I pulled around back, the parking lot was lit. And then I got to see what it was really about. Now Pete was at what looked like it was a sex store shop, but I didn't. But it looked like I thought he might have worked there. He was closing up. Pull around back. It had the massage rooms, the video rooms, the toy rooms, and every other room that you can imagine. I pull around back, and next thing you know, this guy walks up to the car. So normally, we roll down the window. Hey, yo, you Pete? Nah, this wasn't Pete. He said, you want me to go get him? I figured it would be a little weird to have this random dude go in there and be like, hey, yo, Pete, your Lyft driver outside. But when I called him, he was like, just give him a minute. My man Pete time ran out, and then normally I'll wait for him. But this guy, I had to make a business decision as far as what my back seat was going to be like after Pete got out of my car. Now, mind you, I pulled around. All of these people in the parking lot. The parking lot is jumping. I didn't know that the massage rooms stay lit at 5 o'clock in the morning. Like those guys, everybody in there must have been dry when they left. They didn't get no numbers because they was at the rooms. But look, check this out. Pete didn't come. I smooth hit the cancel button on my man just because I really didn't want him to get in my back seat. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't do it. I couldn't have him get in my back seat. I'm just knowing that he just left the masturbation room and then he had to get in my car and touch stuff. I'm not going to be able to do it. No, not going to do it. I would have had to get a new back seat. I wouldn't have been able to do any more rides. This just wasn't going to work for your boy. All right. So I got that guy. Pete was out. I didn't even pick him up and charged him $6 for that. I had to hit him with that petty. Look, I could have easily just canceled the ride and not charged him, but he made me sit there and wait for 6 minutes, and then turn around and then show up. So, yeah, I didn't pick Pete up. All right. So look, real quick, our next interview is brought to you by our sponsor, Beyond Clean, your first and last stop for all of your corporate cleaning needs. Have you ever been dirty? Could your workplace be a little cleaner? Do you have any family members named Willie? If you said yes to any of these questions or couldn't say no right away, you need to call Beyond Clean right away. If your company does not use Beyond Clean, you probably can get a raise by having your boss call 708-829-4102. They've been taking care of corporate cleaning needs for almost 10 years, primarily servicing the Chicagoland and Indiana area. Superior Service is their product, and your building is not clean unless it's beyond clean. All right, so look, we have the interview right now with the dating doctor, the dating and relationships expert. Hey, what I want y'all to do is go ahead and post your questions for the dating doctor, and we'll get as many answered as we can at the end of the segment. Before we let him off, all right? So here's what I need you to do. I want you to bring him in right. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit them like buttons for my man, Marcus Dwayne. What's going on, buddy?
What up, player? How you doing, man?
Hey, man. Hey, I'm glad to have you on. Let me bring you on right. Hailing from St. Louis, currently in Detroit, Michigan, he is a singer, a relationship expert, father, part-time astronaut, and author of the book, 4 Laws of Attracting the Perfect Relationship. I bring to you Marcus D. Skinner, the dating doctor.
What's up, man? I appreciate that. I'm happy to see you doing your thing tonight, man. 710 to Slickville. We've been waiting on this. You know, you post all the Slick Show comments and everything, man. So we've been waiting on it. So let's get into it tonight, man. I'm ready for you.
Hey, man, real quick, so I can let everybody know, man. You know, I met Mark a few years back in Memphis, and he was doing a set at this. I can't remember if it was around New Year's or Valentine's Day. Okay, New Year's. But the scenery was epic, and if anybody's been to Memphis, you already know what I'm about to say. It was a whole bunch of Jerry curls, gold teeth ladies.
It looked like Hustle and Flow Part 2, you know.
Already. All the dudes in there had suits on from K&G with the matching gaiters. You know what I'm saying? Look,
you got to tell them about the guy in the blue jacket, though.
Hey,
you got to tell them about it.
And my man with the powder blue jacket, I'm willing to guarantee he laid that jacket out 2 days later, had the shoes at the edge of the bed, had the pants down. Like, I'm going to hurt these fools. I'm going to hurt these fools when I put this on. Hey, Mark, I'm almost willing to bet that was the trial run for Easter Sunday. He had that on for the trial run.
Yeah, you know, that was actually his last Easter suit. You know, he was trying to work it out for the year 2, but it didn't work. You know, because he had some cheap Stacey Adams on. They tear up in the snow. So, yeah.
No doubt. Hey, man, so let's get on into it, man. What made you start the dating doctor?
Well, you know, one of the things is I started seeing when I was counseling a lot of people in relationships how much stuff that we really just don't know. And it's just like a lot of things is like it's just common sense things and just how to resolve problems, how to talk to each other, how to love each other. A lot of times we try to follow a bunch of traditions that don't really get us anywhere. You know what I'm saying? We don't do the things that work. So one of the things that I started doing was just journaling my experiences in relationships, things that I had gone through, how I had improved my life, and how things started going differently for me when I changed my mindset and became accountable and responsible for the things that I've allowed to happen in my life.
Okay. So what type of demographic do you have as far as your clientele?
You know what? It's funny. My demographic is mostly in our age range, anywhere from 25 to, I say, about 45. And
Wow.
even some people that are even starting over after being in marriages for almost 10 to 15 years, and they're trying to understand how to reestablish their life, how to get things going the right way. I feel like we rush into situations too fast before we even prepare for relationships. So, my biggest thing is teaching people how to find yourself, how to find inner peace, how to find love, how to communicate, just how to do things that work instead of trying to do things that other people have done. Create your own reality.
Gotcha. Okay, so let me ask you this. What do you think is the biggest problem that people run into with dating these days, as far as like lack of communication, baggage, ignoring signs, too much emphasis on sex? Like, what do you come in contact with?
I think the biggest problem that people have in relationships is not finding yourself before finding another person. Like let's be real, Jason. Like you look at TV, and my son, he's 12. So like sometimes I'll go in there, sitting there, I'll watch the Disney Channel with him. And if you notice, like all the shows are centered around relationships, like boyfriend and girlfriend. Somebody likes somebody. Nobody ever really takes the time to get to know themselves first. We've always been conditioned to go straight into a relationship. That's always the first thing that we go for. So instead of actually teaching us, no, get yourself together. Like follow your dreams, follow your passions before you get into having a family, before you get into the mode of, trying to establish a relationship at such a young age, because a lot of us, we get into relationships in our 20s, when really in our 20s, we should really just be having fun and finding out who the hell we are. And we don't take the time to do that,
Gotcha. So do you have universal red flags that men and women should look out for?
Oh, yeah. Well, number one, like I said, you attract what you are. And whether people want to believe this or not, it's the truth, And so the number one flag that you should always look out for is if you're not ready and you know that you're not ready, guess what happens? You're going to attract everything that you are or everything that you aren't at that point. It's just universal law, man. So the biggest thing is prepare yourself. And once you really prepare yourself and you know your worth, then guess what? You don't have to look out for the red flags. They'll automatically show, because when you know your worth, there's certain things you're just not going to put up with. You know what I'm saying? When you know who you are, there's certain things you're just not going to deal with.
Okay. So do this for me real quick. And I need everybody out here to do this as well while he's talking about it. Rank in order of importance between, like, all right, so when you meet somebody and y'all start getting to know each other, potential, looks, finances, stability, chemistry, and sex. That's looks, potential, finances, stability, chemistry, and sex. Go ahead and rank those, people. Get that out there.
Ooh, man, that's interesting. Me, chemistry would have to be number one. You know what I'm saying? Chemistry is everything. How do I feel about you? How do I feel about your mindset? Because don't get me wrong. Everybody wants to lie and say looks aren't important. Looks are very important, because you want to be around someone that you're physically attracted to. You know what I'm saying? But if the chemistry is there, a lot of times, certain things you'll start to look over, because if a person treats you right, man, and, they're behind you and they support you, man, that's everything. And looks do play a part in that. I mean, we have to be honest, man, it's the society that we live in. So, finance, one of my philosophies is get yourself together. Like, have your money and everything together. That's going to be important right there. What was the other one, Jason?
We got stability, sex, and potential.
Yeah, you can't date potential. Potential will probably last.
All right, so then as far as like stability and sex, those kind of right above. Go ahead.
See, to me, like I said, chemistry and sex go together. Be real about it. Think about it. If you're really vibing with someone and you guys are having those talks, I mean, even about sex, about lust and love and relationships, you gonna know if she a freak or not, or vice versa. You gonna know if he's a freak or not. And y'all talk about that stuff. Have those open conversations. That's a part of the chemistry. If you're dating somebody boring, then you already know that the sex is gonna be whack.
Well, if it's somebody that you can't get along with, but y'all can bang each other out, then the only time y'all really get along with each other is in the bedroom. That's on the flip side of it. You see what I'm saying?
That's a different story, though. That's a different story.
So
now, everybody knows that they have that one person that it's just the sex is just awesome. That's one of the things I love about being in this field, because I get to talk about things openly and honestly. When it comes to sex, man, let's just be real. It's the person that you are not really attracted to mentally, and they like physically they may have it there. They may have certain features that you like. But it's just the fact that you really don't like their attitude that makes the sex even better sometimes. Because mentally, you can't stand them, but physically, it's just like they can make it pop,
Hey, I mean, we gotta. That's the thing. I guess when I ask you, do people put too much emphasis on the sex part in comparison to the chemistry part? Because I have to know. What do you think about the 90-day rule? Is it BS? Because most of the time people
BS. The 90-day rule, I'm not into that, man. I just have to be honest. Like when it comes to sex and sensuality, I think we've put, first of all, a lot of people have never really experienced true sensuality. As much as we talk about, really being into that person, really being into the way that they move, really being into knowing how to treat them, how to speak to them, how to communicate with them, because it all goes in there. Like when your walls and your barriers are down and you guys just know each other, you don't give any fuck, let's be real, man, the sex is going to be just amazing. So we don't put too much emphasis on sex. The problem is we don't put enough emphasis on being prepared personally. You feel what I'm saying? Because the thing is, as an adult, you know what you want. So there's nothing wrong with having sex before marriage. You don't have to wait 90 days to know a person. If you spend some time with that person and you really know yourself, you know what you're attracted. So, prime example. You've been in the hood before, and you know when somebody just has a janky spirit. One of them kind of has like, nah, you need to kind of stay away from them, because they keep up a lot of mess. You can just tell who a person is. They present themselves. And a lot of times if you're quiet and you listen, they'll tell you who they are. So right. You know whether to stay away from them or not.
Mm-hmm. So why do you think? Why do you think outside of the Steve Harvey book? Why do you think the 90-day rule is so popular? You think that's the only reason why, or do you think that people had this thing about trying to make dudes wait? Because I know somebody tried to make me wait, and it was only 7 days, but I was like. Well, that means I can.
It was only 7 days. Huh?
I can have somebody. I could kick it with somebody else for these 6 days, and then on the 7th, you up the bat, baby. This was back in my past, baby. Don't you worry about that. That was back in my past.
You gotta remember your mama watching now.
Hey, and wife.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you why it's popular. I'm gonna be honest why you're popular. Everyone is always looking for an answer to why things don't work out. So sometimes it's like, I did have sex with him too soon. So let me wait these 90 days so I can figure out, is that going to make a difference? And like you said, you find somebody else. You like, man, I'm going to kick it with somebody else for 89 days. And on the 90th, boom, I'm going to get what I want. The reality is this. The only answer to the question of how to fix past problems and past relationships is by examining the common factor in each one of those relationships. And the common factor is you. So if you change certain things up about your behavior, you start becoming more honest in your walk. You start becoming more brutally honest. Guess what? You'll attract people who are more brutally honest around you. See, the thing is, when we stop lying to ourselves, then people will stop lying to us. People will stop deceiving us. So then you may meet that person, that guy that's just straightforward, like, look, I like you, I just want it to be physical. Or the guy that's really into you, or the girl that's really into you, she's like, look, I really like you, da-da-da, so on and so forth. Because guess what? Once you find somebody you really like, sex is not a rush. Sometimes it is. Sometimes the passion is there and the height is there, so you do it. But there's no resentment there because you both enjoyed yourself. You both were being grown adults, You knew how to handle the situation.
Okay, so let me ask you this. As far as knowing how to handle the situation, one thing I found that's more popular now than this 90-day rule is a lot of females get a kick out of curving dudes, and they curve dudes just on GP. Like, I mean, I'm glad I'm not in these streets no more because I don't talk rough to people, but I got plans for that. But just curving dudes is the thing to do these days.
Man, you know what? It's
hold on, and before you start,
go ahead.
Hold on, man. And then like curving dudes, and then complaining about it ain't no good men out there, and they done curved 13 though.
You know what, man? A lot of women, it's a mixture of both, man. Because we got to be honest, man. A lot of as men, man, we can be animals sometimes. I watched a video of this girl recording herself walking down the street in New York and how many times she got hollered at and, how aggressive some dudes were, how disrespectful they were. So I can understand why women curve us sometimes. But then again, we got to be realistic. And this is something I want to get off my chest. So I'm going to go ahead and go there today. This is 710 to Slickville, so we're going to get rowdy.
Get on it.
I am so sick of this fucking petty generation right now. Being petty is supposedly the thing to do right now. And this is a lot of reasons why a lot of guys are getting curved because these heifers are just out here being petty too.
Get them.
We gotta be honest about it. Look, when you're a respectable person, yeah, you're gonna get some assholes or some knuckleheads to come at you. But anytime that I see a woman that's about value and the way she carries herself, she knows how to speak to you. He's like, hey, baby boo, I've seen guys, hey, baby boo, how you doing? Hey, girl, hi, dog. She turned around, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm in a relationship, or no, thank you, sir, but I appreciate it, da-da-da. And that brother humbly bows out. You don't even feel like you got curved because she showed you that respect. But now it's just like, I think everybody's just getting to the point where they're just getting disrespectful. Like we got to learn to chill out a little bit and live life. Like, have fun. Somebody's trying to holler at you, just say hello. But being petty is the thing to be right now, man. So it's really sad.
Yeah, I agree. So look, when do you all right, so you meet somebody, and typically when people meet folks, or they meet people, they out at the club, they usually have a roster already. You got somebody you're talking to over here, you're not real serious with this person over there, but y'all kicking it and you kind of smashing this one over here, and this last one over here still kind of dangling a little bit. When do you know when it's time to cut down the roster? This is for somebody in particular.
It's time to cut down the roster when you're ready to succeed. Let's just be real, man. Like, when it comes to it, you can't have a gang of men or women that are not helping you grow or help you get somewhere in life. It's like you got to cut that down because, one of the things I noticed that when I had a lot of women and I was chasing and I was just out there just doing a whole bunch of random stuff, the reality was I wasn't succeeding in life. I wasn't doing anything that was going towards my promise or towards my purpose. Of course, I was in school, and it was like, okay, I'm going to class, whatever. But outside of school, I wasn't working on any personal goals. It was just go to school, go to work, women. And then 90% of the time, that's where most of my problems came from. When I got stressed out, I wanted like, man, where'd my bank account go? Because I'm always out eating. I'm always out going somewhere, So when you're ready to get successful in life, when you're ready for your life to really go to the next level, you got to start focusing on you. So you don't have time for a lot of distractions like that.
Gotcha. You hear that? I'm not going to call no names on that, but I hope you're watching. All right.
What do you think, man?
Huh?
What do you think? Like, when was the time for you to lay down your roster? Because, I know your wife, she's a special lady. She's my best friend of almost 21 years. When was it that you knew that you had to lay down your roster, bro?
Man. I'm just playing. Okay. I'm just playing. No, man, probably probably after we started talking and getting to know each other, because it was a long distance thing starting off. So
right.
Getting to know her, and then because it wasn't about the physical. Like some of the other stuff that I dealt with in the past, well, females that I dealt with in the past, it was probably about 95% physical. Not saying that I didn't care about them or anything like that, but a lot of it was 95% physical. And, I can get along with anybody up to a certain point, and then at some point, then, either I messed up or it just wasn't going to work for whatever reason. And, I'll probably eat the blame on probably about 87% of those situations, but, it is what it is. I wasn't ready. She just She just happened to catch me at a good time, and I tell her, even though she feels her way about Jesus, she got to thank him, because hell, I wasn't there. I needed that. I mean, I could be real. Like, shoot, I was out there in the streets. Church was not at the top of my list. But yeah, I had to get on up out them streets and find my way. And she was one of the things that helped me get out those streets and try to become a better person. So,
well, you know what? And even from observing you too, like we met, was it 05, 06? It's been almost 11 years. So
was it that long? No.
Yeah.
Because I didn't go to Korea till 08.
So it was like 07 then. So it's been almost 10 years. But I guess the thing was, like, one thing we have to realize is, like I said, the right person will bring you out of that situation. Sometimes, like I said, it's just being patient. Like, okay, look, can you really put up with me in this type of situation? A friend of mine said something powerful today. He said, when I wasn't at my best, she was. And she kind of brought me out of it. So sometimes you're just finding that person that you really just vibe with. It's like, you know what? She really rocks with me. Like, what I'm saying? Even though I may mess up, I may say some slick stuff, like this person really rocks with me. So like you said, she kind of bought you out of it. So kudos to Naya. Shout out to Mrs. Brown.
No doubt.
For helping him find his way.
Look, you stupid. Hey, real quick. Okay, so I got a couple more before we get to the questions from the audience.
Okay.
Is there a way that, because a lot of people see that social media is a hazard to a lot of relationships. Do you see a way that it could be beneficial to a relationship?
Social media is not a hazard to a relationship. Like I said, lack of communication is a hazard to the relationship, is a problem in most relationships. Because the thing is, when you living 100% honest and 100% authentically, man, social media is nothing. As a matter of fact, your woman more than likely will probably have the passwords to your social media. The thing is, you have to find someone who's not insecure too. Like especially like in a field like mine, where I deal with a lot of young ladies. So if a woman doesn't know my heart or doesn't know me as a man, then it's going to be an issue, because of the simple fact. Anytime I come into a contact with a woman, it's going to be an issue. And that's not just out on social media, that's out in the world. I dealt with that in one of my past relationships. We'd just be out and about, and a beautiful young lady walks into the room. I try to keep myself together, so I don't always say like I'm just the baddest guy in the room, but I look nice. And next thing I started noticing, she ain't been paying me no attention all night. Now she want to hug and kiss on me, like, move. So insecurity is like really not sexy. So you have to find somebody that's on your level and just knows who you are. Social media has nothing to do with destroying relationships. Because guess what? The same thing that happens on social media is the same thing that happens in the office. It happens when you at the gym, wherever you go. But you're not going to always be around your spouse, and there's always going to be people around that are trying to, throw salt into your relationship. But if you real, it's funny. I'm going to use you as an example. We were talking, having a man-to-man conversation, and the temptation is out there. You admit it, yeah, but, I love what I got at home, and that's the realest thing that you can say. So no matter what happens, even if you on social media, if you're not on social media, because you got to think about it. Our uncles and granddads, they didn't have Facebook. But if they got caught up, that's just the world. So social media has absolutely nothing to do with keeping your relationships keeping your relationship healthy. If that communication is not there, then you're lying to yourself.
Hey, back in the day, if you got caught up cheating, you was the worst. You was the worst cheater in the world. They ain't had no access to you.
You get your side chick the house phone number, which was
right. How you got somebody hitting you on your beeper talking about 911? No, and you at home, and you ain't no doctor.
Yeah, she hit the rotor-rootery on you like 7, 3, over.
Hey. So, look, I got 2 more questions. Then I need you to give some advice to some dudes for real quick.
I got you.
What percentage of women do you feel are crazy, just in general?
Oh man, 110%.
Look.
But you know what though? Like I said, but that's guys too. Like human nature. Like I don't believe in separating the sexes in a lot of things. Human nature. Everyone has a little bit of I'm not going to use that word. That's not a good word to use. Everyone's a little special in a certain way. We'll say that much.
Mm-hmm. Got you.
Yeah, I think that's everybody, man, because as much as it's funny. There was a guy I used to work with before I went full-time into my business. His name was Sean. And Sean, he kind of reminded me, he looked like John Lovitz, the comedian off of The Critic.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, it's funny because every time I used to watch the Adam Sandler movie Wedding Singer, I used to think about him singing Ladies Night, so I just died laughing. But Sean was, like I said, he was the most annoying person in the world. And he was like real soft-spoken. Everybody kind of picked on him and ran him over, you know. But, man, I kept telling people, I said, you don't understand, Sean is a killer. I said, I know every person like that is like super crazy. And we were sitting around talking about our kids, and he was just like, yeah, like somebody was picking on my kid. All of a sudden, he went from just being this nice guy that's usually run over to Satan himself. Let me tell you something. I'll snap their freaking neck. I'm like, what's going on, dude? So everybody's got crazy in them. It's just you have to know what it is that brings it out.
Yeah, see, the reason why I asked because I understand that it's varying levels of crazy. And, you know, depending on who you talk to, like a lot of guys see a girl, see the booty, see the breast, and then be like, and she'll come right out and tell him, I'm crazy. And he'll be like, okay, you know, hey, he ain't going to be crazy with me. You know, ain't going to do none of that, you know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, he the dude who she playing Jasmine Sullivan while he asleep or at his homeboy Tony's house. Like, no, he can't have that. And, you know, they'll try to tell me she crazy, but then I was like, I'm a little crazier, and I'm petty, too, a little bit. So whatever your crazy is, I can probably be a little bit more crazier because I got a better imagination. But
people aren't crazy. They just love drama, man. Let's be real. Why do you think the #1 TV shows are all drama-filled? People ain't really crazy. They just love drama. Like, true crazy people, you know a true crazy person when you see them. You know, they just like these people that say that they're crazy. They just want a story to tell. That's all that is.
So look, let me for the ladies, what percentage of guys lie? And I'm talking about like spiteful lies. Like I lie all the time, but I turn around and tell my wife like 2 seconds after I did it, like, yeah, I'm lying. I was gonna take the trash out, but I decided not to because I was playing 2K. I don't know what that was. No, I ain't farting the bed. I thought that was you.
Like I said, it's no gender specific, man. Everybody lies, but there's a difference between lying to me and being full of shit. You know, because like I said, I'm one of those people. I'm just an asshole. I just try to be brutally honest about everything because once I realized I really don't care about what a lot of people think, you know, when you care about what people think, that's when you lie. You know, and I guess at the end of the day, to me, the only place I used to lie to was my job. I was like, yeah, you know, my kid's sick, so I can't make it in today. And once I really got effing sick of that job, I was like, you know what, fuck this. Look, I'm going to need my PTO. You gave it to me, I'm going to take it today.
Right.
So I think everybody lies, you know, what is the purpose behind your lie? Are you lying to deceive someone, like really deceive them, like, hey, baby, I'm going to take the trash out, and then you just forget? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, that's different. But if you just like, yeah, nah, you're the only one, and you putting that person at risk, that's different, man.
Hey.
So we all forget to take the trash out. You lie to yourself. You're like, man, I'm going to get up and do these sit-ups in the morning. I'm going to try to bust out 200 a day. And when you laying there in the bed watching Maury at 9 in the morning, what can you say?
Already.
Try to be. So I think everybody is full of it to some degree, man.
And so the reason why I asked that question is to follow up with this one real quick. And when I say I need you to help the guys out, all right, so as guys, we look at women. We look at women all day. I live in Atlanta. We look at women. It's a whole bunch of women out there. I look at booties. I look at big booties. I look at small booties. I look at ugly booties and flat booties. I look at breasts when they out. And these are things that you don't want to have to lie about. But at the same time, you don't want your significant other to feel a certain kind of way about that. Help the guys out with that real quick, because I don't want the guys to get in trouble by looking at booties, because it's kind of a magnetic pull that women's body part got to dudes' eyes, and they can't help it. So help out the ladies, help out the dudes real quick.
So here's the secret to being able to look at another woman's physique and not piss your woman off. Are you ready? Y'all really ready for this?
Y'all get ready. Go ahead, get ready.
All right. Here go the 2 tips. Number 1, be 100 with your woman at all times. That's number 1. Your woman is always going to respect honesty. You know what I'm saying? And if she knows that she can trust you even about the little things, then it's going to be easy for her when you actually do slip up and look at somebody's ass. Like, did you look at her? Yeah, I did. She had a nice ass. Be honest about it. And number 2, when you with your woman, make sure that she feels like the only woman in the world. When you spend that time with her, man, love her as much as you can. Show her as much appreciation as you can. You know what I'm saying? When a woman feels respected, when she feels appreciated at home, when you slip up and just look at her ass, she ain't tripping. She knows what you got. She knows who you are. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, man, when you're being, just like you said, you're being deceitful, women can pick that up. Men can pick that up. We have BS meters. We just tend to ignore it a lot of times. Like, if you know that you love your woman, man, and you therefore be like, look, babe, she just had a nice ass. Because let's be real. When Morris Chestnut or the dude that played Thor take their shirt off, they looking.
Oh,
you know
of course.
What I'm saying? Yeah. We're not going to sit here and act like they not looking. But it's okay, because when you're with her, she lets you know, hey, you mine. This is what it is.
Hey,
so don't get mad about it. Just don't do slick stuff. Don't be like, yeah, I'm looking, and I'm also passing notes. Or you know what I'm saying? Like, they can feel when you're more than just like, dang, she got a nice body.
Hey, so
you know what I'm saying? Be 100 with her at all times, and that way you keep down a lot of confusion.
And you know what else? I mean, one thing that I've got with a little help from one of our cousins is that my wife can't whisper at all, and
your wife cannot whisper.
At all.
She learned how to whisper at a gun range.
She learned how to whisper at a tarmac. But look, hey, we was in Wingstop one day, right? And hey, submit y'all questions, because as soon as I get done telling the story, we're gonna go ahead and answer some of y'all questions real quick. We was in Wingstop, and this lady walked in, and my radar still worked. I saw the booty from the parking lot, and she walks in. I was like, "Yo, that's stupid." And she was like, "What? Why you call that girl stupid? She ain't done nothing to you." And I was like, "No, I'm just saying. Like, you'll see when she come around here." Now, I have already seen that she ordered a meal that came with a drink, and we was sitting over by the fountain machine. And so I was like, "Yo, I'm just saying. Like, I'm not saying she's stupid. I just said that's stupid." And when the lady walked around and got her drink, and Tanea was like, "Damn, she got a big ass." And I'm like, "Yo!" That was her.
Yeah.
That was her.
Her Tourette syndrome. She's been that way since we were kids, man.
I didn't say that. That was her. She.
I said it. Actually, I can say stuff like that. So.
Cause look, had I said it, had I been like, "Damn, she got a big ass," she would have been like, "Oh, so you like her booty now? You like her? That's what you like?"
You know what? But that's the thing, though. Like, even in that situation, like, stop talking. Like, this is where we mess up. Shut the fuck up, please. Just be quiet. Like, look, if she has a nice ass, okay, look, and then go back. Like, what movie was that? Roscoe Jenkins, when Mike Epps was trying to look at his cousin. Like, look, get your piece and go home, man. That's all you want. Look, get your feet, boom, and then be slick about it sometimes, man. Like, if you see a woman walking towards you and your woman, do something like bend down and like, my shoelace ain't tight enough. And let her walk by you. You can see it, and she didn't even notice it. Be slick about it. Come on, 710 to Slickville. We got to teach them some pointers on that, too.
Hey,
like, if you just going, and then just be honest with your woman. Like, look, baby, I'm finna look with me. Shit, let's see.
I would do that one before I did the shoestring thing. I would do that one because the shoestring, she going to stop, too. She going to stop, too, and be like, hey, what's wrong with your foot? Oh, you looking at that ass, huh? Like, right.
If you get caught, that's the thing. If you get caught, be honest. Like, I just wanted to see.
You know, turn around like you had to wipe your Crocs off. No, we already know better. Hey.
First of all, if you're a grown man wearing Crocs and you're not a male nurse, then we got an issue.
I'm trying to think. Do I got my Crocs on right now? No, I got my Nike sandals.
We're not going to do this on the opening show. I'm not going to take you there, bro.
Hey, look. All right, so real quick, we got a couple more minutes, man. So we're going to the audience, man. So my cousin Greg want you to explain to the ladies that have insecurity issues with their man how to get over that hurdle, especially if they're never given a reason to be insecure in the current relationship.
The biggest thing is with that situation, number one, like I said, I always believe that people are a reflection of what you attract. So if you got with a person that was insecure, it was something that you needed to, it's something that you reflect also. So in a situation like that, the best thing to do is to communicate with that person as much and as often as possible. Like I said, one of the things I'm working on right now is a couples sensuality and sexuality DVD. And one of the things that I mentioned is the most important thing in a relationship is appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
Man, nothing feels better when a woman tells her man, look, thank you for doing this. I don't care if you just paid the light bill. Look, baby, I know you be busting your ass to pay this light bill and this cable bill. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. So the same thing goes for that woman.
Gotcha.
When you show that woman that you appreciate her, that you love her, like even on a daily basis, man, just put it in your phone. Put it in your phone. Like, man, pick her up her favorite candy. It may be a Snickers bar. It may be some Airheads. Whatever it is, man, just show that person that you appreciate them. And a lot of times those things will dissipate. Now, the reality is, too, if you're with someone who has issues that they've never dealt with, what happens is these are some things that no matter how much appreciation, no matter how much love you have, they have to go through their healing process. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like you play ball, so you play basketball. You maybe hurt something before, like, you've seen cats break a leg or hurt their knee. If they don't take that time to heal, like prime example, Derrick Rose, what happens is they keep re-injured and they keep going back through the same thing. You have to completely go through your healing process before you even get into a relationship. So sometimes that person may have to really sit back and understand some things like, look, she really is insecure. And I know in my heart I'm not giving her some real issues to be insecure. So there's some things that person just has to deal with outside of you. Counseling, going back to family, and just really teaching people how to deal with those things. Some things you can help solve by, like I said, showing that appreciation, showing that love, telling that person how much you love them, how much you appreciate them on a daily basis, showing them by giving, by the things that you give, showing them by picking up your damn drawers when you know that you should have just picked them up in the first damn place. The little things, and acknowledge who they are, and that'll dissipate. But if it's something deeper than just the surface things, and there's things that they got to go deep inside and find out for themselves.
Gotcha. All right, Brandon from Hot Springs. He says, after being out of a long relationship, how do you hop back into it? Asking for a friend. Right.
See, after being in a long relationship, how do you get back into the dating scene? I'm guessing that's what he's asking.
Pretty much.
But yeah, the first thing, like I said, in my book, The 4 Laws of Attracting a Perfect Relationship, I talk about the stages of preparing yourself for dating. Number one, going through your healing process, mental, physical, and spiritual. Kind of get yourself together mentally, get your body together physically. And, spiritually, when I talk about spirituality, I don't really talk about, church or religion or anything like that. Spirituality to me is your gift. Like, one of the gifts that you have, Jason, is the gift of gab, talking to people, and that's healing within itself. You feel what I'm saying? So if you operate in your gift, that's a spiritual talent, and that's true spirituality to me. So then, of course, getting everything together about yourself, make sure your finances are straight. You're doing what you want to do. You're living the life that you want to live. Like, you work where you want to work. You're following your dreams, you know. And we may not always be there at the point that we want to, but, you know, just give it time. Keep working towards it. You know, and a lot of times when you start working towards your dream and start getting into that field, what happens is you meet people with similar interests that can help take you to that next level, whether it be in an intimate relationship or just friendship relationships, you know. Learn to court yourself, you know, and then you got to open up your mind. Like, we got to stop trying to do all this old stuff, man, like trying to, well, my dad did this. Well, look, your daddy was born in 1927. Like, it's 2017. Let's do something different. Let's change it up. You just got to find out who you are. You know, so basically, like I said, man, go through your process, healing, following your dreams, learning to court yourself. You know, go out, have fun by yourself. Don't always look for a relationship for that. Like, learn to have fun by yourself. A lot of times, man, I'm going to use myself as an example. I'll go somewhere, and I'll go to a nightclub. I'll go somewhere like a bar, a restaurant. I'll go by myself. I'll get myself a drink, you know, have a meal, just be sitting in the corner. Sometimes I'll pull out my book. If I'm at a club, you know, I have a couple of drinks. I'm just listening to the DJ jam out. And women naturally just come to me. Number one, because they're curious, like, who the hell is this dude here by himself in the first place? So by being, you know what I'm saying, and then guess what happens? That's when the conversation start up. That's when the conversation sparks up. I don't really believe in chasing after women. I believe that, you know what I'm saying, you should mostly let the woman choose you. You know, and that's how you avoid getting swerved a lot of times. Now, I do believe that if it was another brother that said this, and I thought it was really dope. He said, if a woman has the damn factor, that's when you holler at her. I mean, it's just when she walks in and she just makes you like, damn, if I don't talk to her, I'd be a fool. Like, you got to just go ahead and take it, you know, take that risk. You know, sometimes you take the L, but a lot of times you don't. Like, pay attention to the signs. Look at her hand. Does she have a ring on her hand? Is she married? If she's married, all right, well, cool. Respect it and leave it alone. But if she's not, man, look, just go up to her like, look, hey, I find you very attractive. I think you're beautiful. You know, I don't know if you have a man in your life. I'd like to get to know you. If not, you know what I'm saying, you have a blessed day.
You got to shoot your shot.
I did that to a sister one time. You know, she swerved me. I was like, okay, well, you know, it happens. I walked off. But 5 minutes later, she came back. You know what? You were so respectful about it, and I was being an asshole because I was in a bad mood. She gave me her number. You know, so
you hit.
I mean, like I said, it's just
you hit.
Let the woman choose you. So, like, if you really want to get back into the dating scene, get everything together for you. Like I said, make sure you got your finances together. Make sure you got your mind right, your body right. You know, and clean up your house, man.
Was it the right number?
Fellas, man, I keep trying to tell the fellas, man, we got to learn to cook, clean, be a reflection of everything that you desire from a woman. You want a woman that's going to cook. You want a woman that's going to handle business. You want a woman that's going to be a good mother and all these things. You got to be a reflection of that. You have to be a man that cooks, a man that handles his business, a man that, you know what I'm saying, knows how to take care of themselves. You know, don't nobody want a damn baby. You know, you want a partner, not a child. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody wanted to know if that was the correct number and if you hit.
It was the correct number. And, you know what? I'm not going to blast that young lady out because she might be watching this. But just let you know, we went out a couple of times and we had fun. We'll say that much. I'm not going to just let y'all know if I hit or not. You know.
Gotcha. Yo, real quick, go ahead and I have one more question, but go ahead and plug your book right quick.
Yo, so my book is called The 4 Laws of Attracting the Perfect Relationship, a guide to finding self-love and inner peace before a relationship. So basically, man, it's just a guide, just a dating guide, man, to really learning how to love yourself, man, and find inner peace beforehand. You know, I think at the end of the day, no matter what, if you want to find somebody that's great, you just got to be a reflection of all of that, man. You have to be great yourself, you know. So everything that you desire, everything that you desire in a person, you have to become that, man. And the book gets deep, man. I tell them my life story, things that I had gone through, mistakes that I had made, how I came into the knowledge that I have today, you know, especially, like I said, from counseling people, going to school, you know, for psychology and all these things, man. Like, life has been great. It's a beautiful book, and I made it short. Originally, it was 310 pages. but I cut it down to less than 100 because I just really wanted people to get the essence of it. You can find it on Amazon. You can go to my YouTube, Facebook, The Real Marcus Dwayne. And Dwayne is spelled Dewayne. So it's MarcusDewayne.
All right. And real quick, one other thing, we talked about this a couple months ago on the Sister to Sister show. Shout out to those ladies. We was talking about the ability to sing, and I mentioned earlier that you was doing a set. How often is singing part of the courting situation in your
Hey man, shut up. Who's giving away my secret weapon, man?
Hey man.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you, to be honest with you, man. Singing is like, music is just a big part of my life. I love music. No matter how much I go to school and the degrees I get, music will always be my number one love. So that's my way. It's another one of my talents and one of the ways that I reach people. You know, so whether it be, anybody. So if a woman meets me, of course, yeah, I'll probably, set it up where I have the piano playing and she, hear the skills, kind of hear the skills and bust out the Johnny Gill, something like that. But, or, I don't know. I'm always singing. Like, even when I'm just walking around, I may have a song in my head and I'll be singing and, like, people will hear it. So if I'm courting somebody, of course they're going to hear it, man. It's about 110% of it.
Okay. So, real quick, somebody want what song going on in your head? What song was going on in your head earlier that somebody can hear right now?
Oh man, what was I listening to? I was you know what? Honestly, I've been on a rap trip lately, man. Some old school Outkast, man. Some J. Cole. Like, I've been on rap lately. I haven't really just been singing. I was listening to Gnarls Barkley probably a couple of days ago, but. Yeah, so
we don't
you're not gonna get me tonight, man.
We ain't gonna get you tonight. Not even in the spirit of the new edition biopic that they just had out.
Yo, that was a dope movie, man. Did you check it out?
I hadn't seen it yet, man. But you can go ahead and hit us with a little Candy Rain on the way out, real quick.
Not Candy Rain. Hold on, Candy Rain ain't no damn song.
Oh, Can You Stand the Rain?
You mean
Yeah, Can You Stand the Rain? This is about the rain the other day. I think Candy Rain is.
I'm trying to find the key in my head. On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. If that's not impossible, tell me, can you weather the storm? Because I need somebody who will stand by me. There you go, man.
Hey, man, we appreciate it, man. Everybody go ahead and hit those likes and hit those hearts for Marcus Dwayne, man. We appreciate you coming on, man. Hey, everybody, we going to take Go ahead.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me as a guest. Congratulations, bro. I'm proud of you and happy for you, man.
All right, we'll do. Appreciate it, man. Like I said, this man sang at my wedding, and he killed it. He sang at a couple other weddings, man. Like I said, this is my guy, 100 grand, man. I appreciate everything you're doing, man. Hey, these likes going up there, man. I see it, man. I see it. Hey, I wish nothing but good things for you moving forward. Coming up
my brother.
Hey, take it easy, man. Love you, man.
You too.
All right. All right, we about to head on out real quick, take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have what the hell news going on. We also going to have things that piss me off, petty-ish, and things that you probably did not notice. And if we got times, we're going to have places that you cannot take, Samuel L. Jackson, along with Ash J.
The biggest station in the world, playing all of today's hits. You're listening to Instinct Radio.
What we talking about? Freedom. You don't kill yourself. Kill yourself. Okay. If you think freedom free, you don't. You should kill yourself. You ain't nothing but kill yourself. Okay. I'm just another another young brother from New Jersey, but even I can tell you the cost of freedom overpriced absurdly. Currently, I could barely eat for $20, and the problem ain't whether or not I got it, man. The problem is I got it. In a world where I'm making $8, cause I'm working at McDonald's. Cause when I was selling drugs, y'all called it illegal profits. Cause my pocket is all profits without taxes, bastards. I'm so tired of y'all asses. When it come to classes, Ricky Bobby Dad said you either first or last, and we ain't doing no victory lap, man. We just here stuck with the tracks, and now I'm thinking my uncle relapsed. Tell me how I'm supposed to relax when they trying to put stick in the max for riding around with some grass. That's gonna be legal anyway. Soon as the laws get passed, then we here talk about some freedom, man. Damn, what the fuck is that? They change the prices at the laundry, man. What you talking about? What the fuck is that? I just reach for my wallet and I get class. What you talking about? What the fuck is that? You save a little money and I get sad. What the fuck is that? Okay, listen, nigga, stick to the facts. What we talking about? If you think freedom free, you dumb. You should kill yourself. You ain't nothing but a bill yourself. Okay. Okay. If you think freedom free, you dumb. You should kill yourself. You ain't nothing but a bill yourself. Okay, well maybe you don't kill yourself, but I'm just trying to heal yourself. If you won't heal yourself, somebody gotta think about the nation. Going to war with the nation for a place they went to war with in the first place, and keep supplying weapons that they keep on taking. But hey, that's a whole different conversation. I made it off probation. It's a celebration. I know niggas on braces till they 38, kid. It's ridiculous how they put us in predicaments, and their punishment for not living in the boundaries that they put us in. We be mad for a second, then we good again. March to the Capitol, then back to the hood again. Wish a nigga would again. Kill a nigga quick, but won't do shit to a Klansman. Damn.
It's original piece written by me, Fly Guy. And I want to dedicate this piece to all you players and all you ladies out there. The name of this piece is called My Bitch Better Have My Money. My bitch better have my money. Through rain, sleep, or snow. My hoe better have my money. Not half, not some, all my cash. Because if she don't, I'm gonna put my foot in her ass.
What the fuck is that? They change the prices at the laundry, man. What you talking about? What the fuck is that? I just reach for my wallet and I get cash. What you talking about? What the fuck is that? I'm saving a little money and I get sad. What the fuck is that? Okay, listen, nigga, stick to the facts. What we talking about? Freedom free, dumb. You should kill yourself. You ain't nothing but a pill yourself. Okay. You should kill yourself. If you think freedom free, you dumb. You should kill yourself. You ain't nothing but a pill yourself. Okay. Okay.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. Download the app on Google Play, Instinct Radio, or go to instinctradio.net. And now, back to the hottest sounds around. Instinct Radio.
Hey, yo, we back. Hey, I want to go ahead and thank Mark for a great interview. Man, I hope everybody was taking notes, because this stuff you can really use. You can really use. I appreciate it. I appreciate him coming on. I appreciate everybody that chimed in, that asked questions and everything like that. Now, we're going to hit this thing again. Like I said, I want to remind everybody, if you hear something that you like or you hear something that you think is funny, go ahead and hit those likes, hit those hearts, hit that funny face. We want to make sure that all the good content stay good. All the bad content I can go ahead and get rid of. But go ahead and keep doing that for your boy. I appreciate it. But in this week's What the Hell News and Alternative Facts that will make you smile, on the entertainment side of the game, one of my favorite shows, Power, will be coming back on, and they will add the never aging Lorenz Tate. Now, for some reason, he still look like he about 17, 18 years old. We know he probably close to 50. They also going to add Charlie Murphy. So, look, if you like this show, Go ahead and hit that button real quick. Hit those likes real quick. If you got a crush on Ghost, hit that heart. Flood the screen with that heart button. I don't have a crush on him, but that dude do be fly. Every outfit be fresh. I don't know who his stylist is, but hopefully one day I can get some money. I get those leftovers. He's got to make it in my size because I'm a little bit taller than he is. On the weather side of the game, tax time is here, and although the Atlanta strip clubs did not get the precipitation that they were expecting after the Super Bowl, it will be plenty of people flocking to the strip clubs and high-end car dealerships and the buy here, pay here joints in order to make it rain. Okay. On the finance side of the game, Super Bowl 2019 will be in Atlanta, and there are almost as many strip clubs here as Chick-fil-A's. So, ladies, you have a little less than 2 years to go ahead and do some squats. Go to booty boot camps as well as all of your pole acrobatic classes in order to get your rent paid for at least 6 months in 2019, all right? In what the hell news, did you see the lady that went live on Facebook and cooked her dude and his dude in the hot tub at the hotel? Yeah, she going straight to prison. I don't remember where it is, but yeah, there was this girl that went Facebook Live, went and knocked on the hotel because she went to go buy some tampons. On Facebook Live, she went in there, she saw her dude and another dude, and dropped the in the jacuzzi, and drop a radio into the jacuzzi and cooked both of those Negroes on Facebook Live. Now, I'm not a fan of crime. I'm also not a fan of people committing crimes on Facebook Live. But, boy, that is one hell of a way to go. Look, my man tried to get up out the tub, and, yeah, they got him on Facebook Live with his booty all in the air. That was horrible. Horrible way to go. Lastly, in alternative facts, President Donald Trump signed an executive order to impeach himself. States he's trying to protect the country from all threats. This, as well as when he got on the news the other day and said, look what's happening in Sweden. And Sweden had no idea what the hell happened in Sweden. And so this and other alternative news can be found on 710 to Slickville on my Twitter account.
Can you tell us a little bit more about Trump did? To impeach us? What did he do?
Oh, that was alternative facts right there. But he signed it. You know how he been signing executive orders going 90 going north. Well, he signed an executive order to impeach himself.
How does that work?
Well, he ain't read it. Like he ain't read half the other stuff.
Right? Can he? Yeah.
Maybe. Cause he believe.
He just pay somebody to read for him.
He believe everything that he get, and he says those things like boom. Oh, I thought somebody said that this was for a railroad. And then he turned around and impeached himself. But, you know, hey, that's what it is. That's what it is for the what the hell news. All right. And so real quick, I like to talk about things that piss me off. Some people that follow me on Facebook have heard some of these things. But I just got so many things that piss me off, and I'm starting to think I hope I'm just not a negative person. But when it comes to things that piss me off, bad hair pisses me off, and I don't know why. Being a bald head person, bad hair really makes me angry. Kevin Durant's hair pisses me off. For some reason, this dude did not get a haircut for the NBA All-Star Weekend. Like, ain't no lineup, no edge, nothing. No, all the worst hair. He got the worst hair. I don't even know if he's all the way African and he got bad hair. Like Kunta Kinte talk trash about his hair. Another thing that pissed me off is weaves that don't match their real hair. As a dude, I'm 6'2", 6'1" and 3/4. If you trying to hate, I can see the top of your head. I can see tracks. I can see the bad little weave part that's up under there. I can see the rest of I can see where it turned good. I don't like seeing none of that. And I'm not gonna judge you. And now that I'm out the game, I don't have to worry about trying to date you or anything like that. But when I see that, I automatically just dock points. Like, I wouldn't even try to hook you up with none of my friends because you obviously don't care that much about what your hair look like. And you probably paid a lot for it. That's the worst. On top of that, you probably paid a whole lot for it. And somebody said, stop looking. I can't help it. They just short. Nappy facial hair. I don't like to see nappy facial hair. Dudes got that little facial hair that be curled up on the sides like that. I don't like that. That is horrible. It's too horrible. I also don't like people that stand too close to me. People that stand too close to me, I think that you trying to rob me. I feel like you either trying to rob me, you trying to smell me, you trying to do something to me, but it's inappropriate to be that close to somebody in public that you don't know. And so on some petty stuff, yes, I will swing an elbow. I will turn around and look you dead in your face. I will hope that I had just ate some onions and say a whole lot of H words to you just so that you can smell my breath and back up a little bit. And if that does not work, I will try to push out a fart if I'm not too close to sharting. I can't have that happen because then I'd be the one in the wrong. I also don't like people that it pisses me off when people debate answers to questions that they did not know the answer to. And so when you ask me, hey, what's the answer to 2,809 times 486? And I tell you 5,823,486. And you say, no, it's not. What, did you know? Did you know? Or if I tell you, hey, it's raining outside. And you like, no, it ain't. Hey, listen, you just asked me. Don't question my answer. I'm always right. All right? On some other stuff today, we got petty-ish. This is my segment that I like talking about the things that's petty. I'm all for the petty. I'm just not for it in my relationship, even though I do have times where I might be petty. Like I said, I lie to my wife on some petty stuff just sometimes to get a reaction, but I tell her that I am lying right away. But petty stuff on social media, I hate seeing people that you block somebody and then you turn right around and talk trash about them or to them. That's petty as hell. They can't see it. They ain't even your friend no more. They not your friend on Facebook or in real life. So why are you talking about them? People want a dislike button. If you put a dislike button on Facebook, you petty just for using it. You petty for using a like button on somebody's status that you don't even really like them. You don't want them to be happy. You don't like their relationship. But you're going to want to hit the like button because you see that they in a relationship with somebody that you like. Just so that person can see it. That ain't going to make them break up. They going to be happy that you saw it. And then still be in a relationship with your petty ass. It's real petty, and I don't know if this has actually ever happened before, but if somebody started a fight with you and then you kick their ass and then press charges on them for having to do it, you petty as hell. But that'd be funny. That'd be funny just so it can just for it to happen, just because they started a fight. Which I'm not too sure that Darrell Reeves might have been in something like that, where some people said that he had knocked out 2 people on the streets for following him with a camera. That's crazy. On to some things that you probably did not notice. If you don't watch a particular, if you don't listen to a particular radio station, there's a pork commercial that comes on in the morning, and I hate this pork commercial because it has this lady on there that gets stopped by a police officer, and she's like, "Ooh-wee, I don't know why you pulled me over, officer. I just had to make sure I got this pork loin home to my family because they really loves it." And then the police officer was like, "Hey, well, I'll go ahead and escort you so that your family can get this pork loin." And you know what? That commercial would have been fine with any other meat. Any other meat but pork. It could have been fish. It could have been chicken. No, it probably couldn't have been chicken. It could have been beef. It could have been beef. And they could have used anybody else that did not sound like the lady on Popeye's Chicken to do this voiceover. And it could have been anybody else. But that just bothered me. And then there's also a credit card commercial. It's also a credit card commercial that comes on. I'm not gonna say the name of it, but they say we treat people like you want to be treated, and if you have to call in, you'll get somebody that's from America. What? From America? So you mean to tell me that y'all don't like talking to the people that sound like, hey, look, may I speak to Brown Jason? Like, yeah, I know that takes all day to get it done, to get your whatever you need done with your credit card. But at the same time, listen, if you get this guy on the phone, hello, what can I do to help you with your problem? That's going to be equally annoying and irritating, and those people will get on your nerves too. But anytime I have to call into any of those credit card companies, those people, everybody gets on my nerves because they either don't speak English, and I hate automated services. All right, so we got a call. Who we got on the line?
You have Sharon Johnson from O'Fallon, Missouri.
What up, Sharon Johnson?
Hey, loving the show.
Thank you.
I have a question about you guys, President Trump, because he's not my president.
Are you in America?
And sometimes. This is what I want to know. He appears to have broken so many laws under the Constitution in just 1 month that he has been here. Hasn't he done enough that we as Americans can ask for his impeachment?
You can ask. I don't know if
he needs to go.
Yeah, you can ask, but I don't know. Like that could have been stopped a long time ago, back in November, possibly. But as it stands, I mean, look, that man got a lot of votes. Unfortunately, he got a lot of votes, and for the people that thought it would have been a good idea and went ahead and voted for him, and the people that did not want to vote for anybody, all of those people had to deal with what we're dealing with right now, and it's just
absolutely. Absolutely. That's what got him in, especially the undecided at the last minute.
Yeah.
Pushed him over the top.
Yeah, but maybe like I said in the alternative facts part of the show, maybe he will go ahead and sign that executive order to impeach himself. You never know. He just be signing away.
How do you ask for an executive order against yourself? I've never heard of that. The man is a moron.
Exactly. There you go. Like I said, those things you never know. It could happen. I don't think he reads half that stuff anyway. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that he gets on TV and repeats that he didn't fact check beforehand. Like I said earlier, he had mentioned something happening in Sweden, and
in Sweden, I saw that.
Sweden was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And so he was like, "I saw that on Fox News, but they probably was lying anyway." You think?
From what I am reading daily, I see that the whole world is looking at us in a different view since he's been president, because he is just a buffoon. He knows nothing about what he's doing, and he won't even listen to people, his own advisors. He's not doing it. He's just calling the shots, right, wrong, and different, and tries to fix the consequences. He needs to go.
Absolutely. I agree. I mean, but, it's one of those things where, hopefully one way or another they'll somebody make something happen. They'll start a petition. They'll see the wrongs of their ways and, make it happen. But yeah, the world is looking at us crazy. I've had people come up to me and before he got elected was asking me like, how are you guys allowing this to happen? And hell, all I could do is shrug. I didn't know. I don't know.
Right.
We tried.
One more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
One more thing. I would like to sponsor you. So can you give me the information and everything I need for your next month? I would like to sponsor you.
Yes, ma'am. I will definitely get that on over to you. All right, and we appreciate you. We appreciate you. We want you to keep on watching. Like I said, I'm going to keep making this and doing this the best that I can so that you all can have great shows every first and third Monday. All right?
Looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the call.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, well, that's going to take us into this segment that we call Ask Jay. Before Google, you had Ask Jeeves, all right? And now you can ask Jay. This is a chance. This has the chance to be the best part of the show, or it could be an epic failure. I don't know, but I've already received some questions via Facebook. But go ahead and post more questions in the chat room. Go ahead and call. Your questions will be answered. The number is 478-569-6474. We can get you. The lines are open right now. Just a disclaimer. This is definitely a super unfiltered part of the show. So if you are easily offended, this segment is not for you. Mom, this is probably the part where you can turn the show off. I'm laughing, but I'm very serious. All right. All right. So we'll start off with some of the questions that I got on Facebook until we get a call. Philip from Atlanta wants to know, where is Tony Romo going? My first guess would be to Shady Acres retirement home. But if not there, he'll probably end up in Houston, or I hate to say it, Chicago or Denver. But the money is on Houston because they just had an epic. They don't need a whole lot, and Denver is probably the place where they want to go, where he probably wouldn't want to go. All right, let me see what else we got here. We got, can your significant other have a best friend of the opposite sex? Man, that should have been a question for Marcus right there. All right, so as far as I'm concerned, like I said, my wife and Mark have been friends for over 20 years. As long as I'm very secure in myself, so seeing their interaction and knowing that it hadn't gone too far, I'm cool with it. But not everybody can deal with that. Like, I also know people that be like, hey, once you're in a relationship, you are each other's best friend, and you don't need no other interaction with people from the opposite sex. Which, that's just, I ain't gonna say it's unreasonable, but I mean, hey, if you don't trust that person to keep all male or female relationships or interactions at a respectable level, then yeah, y'all probably don't need friends of the opposite sex. But y'all probably will end up being super bored hanging out with your whack friends that y'all had to begin with. All right, so let me see what we got here. Over under the years that Trump will be in office. If I could set it at probably about 3.5. 3.5, and I wish I could take the under. I wish I could take the under on that, but one or two things that end up having to happen for the under to take place, and that would be him getting impeached, or somebody taking him out the game, which I don't condone violence. So, well, I take that back. I do a little bit. So I'll probably put the over at just one term, because I think people get tired of the nonsense and get tired of having our president being the butt of jokes, being on Twitter every 3 days, every 3 minutes, every 3 seconds, posting about something that he had no idea about what's going on. Him probably about lying on other countries and trying to scare people into this weird existence that he has in his mind, and I just don't see it lasting more than one term. All right. Let me see. Luttrell from Arkansas, I believe. He said, is it a deal breaker for a woman if a guy's text has mistyped words and words used incorrectly? You know what? I speak from my side. I do believe if my wife used bad grammar when we were just dating, if she used bad grammar and she typed like she talks, we probably wouldn't have made it. As an English teacher, I see all of that stuff, and I have a problem with reading it. Like some Facebook posts, I just scroll past. I'm not going to try to read. I don't have a secret decoder ring or anything like that to try to figure out text messages and anything like that. So, yeah, it probably would be a deal breaker if she was educated. Now, if you got somebody that was on like a third grade reading level or something like that, then yeah, abbreviating words that for no reason, like was with WZ and all that stuff, like WUZ, you're not shortening anything. You're just spelling stuff for the sake of not spelling stuff correctly. I don't understand that, and that's pretty dumb to me. So it probably wouldn't have worked out for me. But, you know, hey, to each his own on that one. But I would say for me, yeah, that would be a deal breaker. It wouldn't work for me on that one. All right, let's see what we have. Oh, Reggie from St. Louis wants to know if women thinks anal is okay. Why, Reggie? Why? I mean, it's a way to find out. You know, it's definitely a way to find out if women think that. I mean, that's one of the things. You know, I had this thing that I called back in the day universal questions, and universal questions were a set of questions that I could use in order to get information that I needed. Now, universal question was just like a universal remote. Boop, you use it on any TV, and it should turn the power on, turn it off, channels, and the volume. And so, hey, if I put out a universal question, say, hey, you know what? One of my friends said that him and his girl tried out anal. It was the best thing in the world. What you think about that? Universal. If she hits you, leaves, or say, then yeah, anal probably is not what you want. It's probably not going to happen for you. All right, Reg? So just so you know on that one. Let me see what else we have. What are some, Trey from Atlanta wants to know, what are some unspoken rules for managing significant others' social media? And if there are cutoff times or restrictions that are commonly accepted as you should know this already. All right. To be honest with you, I do not manage my wife's social media accounts. I don't. I mean, they're not trying to interact with me. If they do, they have my all my social media information. One thing I will tell you is that it would seem to be an accepted cutoff time, but that's on each person's own with each relationship. So, and I say that because, if Tanae's on social media and she's talking to her best friend Sharice or somebody like that, then yeah, y'all can talk all night, whatever. But if you talking to a dude, now y'all sexting. I don't care what time it is. You sexting at that point. I don't care what y'all could be talking about. Y'all could be talking about the St. Louis Cardinals. You can be talking about eating chicken. I don't care. At 11 o'clock, 10:30, you might as well be sexting. Even though my wife is asleep at that time, she's probably asleep right now. You can't. I don't want y'all going. I don't want a long comment list about that time. You know about. Like I said, I don't care what y'all talking about. Not gonna be able to happen. Nope. But I mean, as far as like, it just depends on what kind of rules and standards that y'all put in y'all own relationships. You know what I'm saying? Because those things you definitely have to talk about. I don't do unspoken rules. Unspoken rules are made to be broken because don't nobody know what they are because they're not communicated. And so you definitely need to have a conversation about that, because all those things, the less that you have conversations for, the more you leave open for interpretation. And based on how you have come up in relationships, your interpretation can be way different from what the expectation is on the other hand for your partner. Okay. Let's see what we have. Let's see what else we have. And like I said, the phone number is 478-569-6474 if you want to call in and ask a question so it can be answered live Okay, let's see. Reggie. Wow, Reggie must be horny. He said, do women like giving oral or do they just do it for us? Okay. You know what, Reggie? I would almost be willing to bet. In the 2017 era, I don't know if there are very many females that don't do it, but as far as liking to do it, that's a whole different subject. And so, like I said, there are ways to find out, Reggie. If your woman or significant other likes to give oral. And so, one way to find out, does she do it without you asking? Okay? Does she do it without you asking? So if you don't ask and she just services you during halftime of a football game or a basketball game or whenever, she services you while you're playing the PlayStation or 2K or whatever it is that you have at home, she might actually like doing it. If you have to ask every time that you get some head and then she barely does it and do not let you finish, then you probably have someone that just does it because you are asking for it. All right? If you think that she might like it, but she doesn't do it a long time, it's probably because your balls stink and you probably need to take a shower. I hope that answered your question for you, my man. All right, let's see what else we got here. When are you... Damon from Hot Springs wants to know, when are you going to bring Uncle Daryl to the big screen? I guess Uncle Daryl is this person that Damon has made up that he comments on whenever I post a selfie on Facebook and I'm not looking the happiest. I guess mean ass Uncle Daryl is what he calls him, and it probably can be I feel like I'm mean sometimes, but I don't mean to be, and I do have that look on my face from time to time. But I don't know when mean ass Uncle Daryl. He'd definitely have to be somebody that's created in order for it to be Uncle Daryl need a storyline. And so go ahead and work on that for me, Damon, and I'll see what I can do as far as getting that to the big screen. All right. Okay. Let me see what else. Are you okay? AB from Atlanta, or AB from KC, staying in Atlanta, wants to know, are you okay with your significant other paying for dinner, or should the man pay every time? AB, you damn right I'm okay with the nigga paying for dinner. Shoot, what you thought? Look, in the beginning, the dude will have to pay most of the time. You're going to have to go ahead and establish that, hey, you can, but let her know, like, hey, when it's that time, you know, she can go ahead and take care of a couple bills. She can go ahead and take care of that tip, you know. Yeah, I like being taken out on dates. So, no, I don't agree that the man should have to pay every time. Shoot, what if you didn't have a man? You had to take yourself out. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of those people, look, unless she tells me that she's going to pay, I usually assume that I'm going to pay. But we in this thing together. So, as of right now, it's coming all out of the same account anyway. So, hey, we paying at this point. We going Dutch. By default, we going Dutch. And I'm with it. I don't care nothing about that. No, I don't think the man should pay every time. If you pay every time after about 6 months, yeah, you about to be losing in this game. Just go ahead and be real with you. So go ahead and don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. Let's see what we got. I saw some other questions come up in the chat. Eric from SC wants to know if women like getting snacked on. Pretty sure they do. And pretty sure they do, but do men like it that much? You know what? Men, you know what? I think that most guys, once they get past a certain point, enjoy getting a snack on. But they got, like, everything in that region needs to be taken care of. Just like I told Reggie to make sure his balls is clean. Females, the same thing. It got to be clean down there. You know what I'm saying? It got to be fresh. Cats don't like to go down there and it smells like stuff. We don't want it to smell like bacon, and chicken, and other stuff like that. It needs to just smell like flesh, and we good with that. But as soon as it starts smelling like something else, we don't like all that nonsense. And you don't like to have. Most people want to make sure it's all clean down there. Let's see what else we got. Should women have to cook every day? And that's coming from Aunt Shahada from Denver. Should women have to cook every day? Not if they can't. If they can't cook, then absolutely not. I hope if she doesn't cook every day and the man can't cook, I hope y'all make enough money to take yourselves out to eat. Because y'all going to be some starving people, or y'all just eat ramen noodles and cheese, grilled cheeses all day. And if you're cool with that, hey, I'm with it. I'm not against ramen and cereal and that type of diet. I actually lost a lot of weight eating like that. And I was happy with every meal. I'm a fan of Lucky Charms. Marcus would like to know, would I give Trump a 2-piece hand combo? Absolutely. If he says so, if he got out of line, or if we were standing by each other and we just had a meeting and we came down and the reporters asked me a question like, "Hey, Jason, how was the meeting?" And he was like, "Hold on, we're friends." I probably look at Trump like, "Hey, fool, I can talk." And then he'll probably get that 2-piece. Just for trying to overstep what I'm talking about. Okay? So look, let me see what else we got here. Yeah, Marcus, definitely bacon. And Deidre, it's okay to treat your man like you want to be treated. Absolutely. You want to make sure that everything is being reciprocated. You know, you definitely want to make sure that everybody is being treated like they want to be treated, because that's the only way that you can, unless you like being treated bad, and then you can treat everybody else bad if that's what you like. I'm not against it. But look, I'm so happy we got just enough time for me to get one more segment in. And this was one of the things. I was sitting at work one day, and I was watching this video. And it was Samuel L. Jackson. I think Mom's is off now. But Samuel L. Jackson, and it was just this compilation of him saying motherfucker. And he said motherfucker like 300 times. You know he said it in all his movies. It was like 300 just motherfucker. And I'm talking about I was sitting at work crying. And so one of the things that I came up with was places that you cannot take Samuel L. Jackson. Yes, sir. Places that you can't take Samuel L. Jackson. And one of the places that we were talking about church. I'm gonna get right to that, Tony. One of the places that I came up with was church. And you probably can't take Samuel L. Jackson to church, because soon as they start passing the plate around, he can be like, "Is that another service? Is that another tithe, motherfucker?" Like, no, we can't do that. We can't have him at church asking those type of questions. Also, y'all know when the preacher tells somebody to turn around and turn to your neighbor and tell them, he's like, "I ain't turning around and tell my neighbor nothing, motherfucker." Can't have him do that. Another thing is, Samuel L. Jackson get to church a little bit late, and you know you had that lady that's sitting at the end of the pew. Nope, can't have him do that, because he going to walk up to her and be like, go ahead and slide down, motherfucker. I'm not going to step over you. Not going to have it. Not going to have it. Also, you know, when the church get good, and people start jumping around and getting the Holy Ghost, you better not hit me with that Holy Ghost, motherfucker. Kick your ass up in here. Can't have it. And then, of course, you know, you go to those long services. See, I go to the 8:30 service and make sure, you know, because it's a time frame. It's time restrictions on the 8:30 service. That's not the only reason why I go to the 8:30 service. But it's probably one of the biggest reasons that I go. But I can't take Sam Jackson to the 11 o'clock service, because he'll get mad and be like, how long was this service, motherfucker? Y'all gonna keep talking, motherfucker? Can't do that. Can't take him to an old church either. They ain't got no air conditioning. How many? Y'all ain't got no more Martin Luther King fans, motherfucker? The air don't work in this motherfucker? Can't have it. Can't have it. Can't have it. So I can't take Sam Jackson to church. I can't even take Sam Jackson to the grocery store. Taking Sam Jackson to the grocery store, you know, he already be mad at everything. He'd be like, he'd say stuff like, you got 13 items in this 10 items or less line, motherfucker. Can't you count, motherfucker? Don't like that. Don't like that at all. Also, he'd get mad at whenever those people start putting out their stuff for the manager special. The manager special like, hey, this shit is already expired, motherfuckers. Can't do it. Can't do it at all. Also, don't let one of those kids pushing their parents' cart hit Sam Jackson in the back of his Achilles. Watch where you going with that motherfucker. Somebody get that motherfucking kid. Can't have it. Can't have it. At all. Look, I had one lap. That's all for the place that I can't take. Stupid. That's all for the place that I had where I couldn't take Sam Jackson. I had one other question. From Tony Brown for the Ask J, and she asked, "What was my favorite Lyft passenger story?" I told this story a couple weeks ago, as far as my favorite Lyft passenger, and it was the dude. I picked up this dude, and he was real cool, probably about 40, in his late 40s, and he got in and he was just like, yo, man, you know, talking about the Falcons game, and then all of a sudden he was like, hey, do you smoke? And I thought he was talking about some cigarettes, and so I was getting ready. I was like, no, I don't smoke. Like I don't have any Newports on me if that's what you're asking. And he was like, no, do you smoke though? Do you smoke weed? And I'm like, no, I don't even know you, man. Like, I can't be, who gonna be like, yeah. Like, well, you got something? Like, no, you ain't getting ready to smoke in my car. I know that. You can get put out for that. And so, as we were riding, he was like, no, you smoke heroin or crack. And I'm like, man, hell no. Where is this going? Like, why are you trying to make me, do I look like a junkie? Like, straight up, do I look like an addict? And as we riding, he was like, well, you know, I'm not the police. Like, let me just go ahead and tell you. And I know I got to say that. And I'm just like, no, you don't have to say you not the police, because I don't do none of this stuff. Like, no, I'm not a crackhead. So this dude, he goes on, he was like, well, you know, I had to tell you about this time where I had smoked a little crack one time. And I'm like, whoa, I might need to stop the car, because I don't know what you got going on, buddy. And he was like, yeah, man, you know, I was in Vegas and you know, me and my buddies, we were gambling and we were there for a few hours, and then a friend of mine called me over and he had this white powder in his hand, and he was like, yo, try this bump. I'm looking at him like, try this. So you're not getting ready to go sniff nothing off this man's hand. Yeah. He went, he was like, I took it, I was like, and he sniffed some white powdery substance off of this dude's hand. He was like, yeah, I tried it, man. And I was gambling for 6 hours. Bro. Like, I don't, look, I was really lost for words because I was sitting up there and I'm driving. I'm like, okay, now you can't turn around. I don't know what's. You done told me he a low key crackhead, but then I don't know what's gonna come out of this guy's mouth. It was crazy that this fool happened to live in a nice neighborhood, which probably shouldn't surprise me, because he went way past weed. Like, you can buy weed down in whatever hood you want to go to, but he was on some high end stuff. Like, he was like crack. They doing bumps, so you just do it out in public. I couldn't do it. I couldn't understand. Like, and then you telling me I'm just this is not taxi cab confessions. And so he was just like, yeah, man. I was just like, yo, I was so high, man. I was just gambling. I was like, well, how much did you lose? That's the crazy part. I don't even know. I was like, yo, I don't ever want to get like, I don't ever get whatever you had. I don't even want to know what it's like to not know whatever the hell that you had, and then you just sniffing it off people's hands. Like, you don't know what that could have been. Tony, yes, he did tip, and it was cool. It was a decent tip, but I think he tried to tell me that he did it in Vegas to try to ease the judgment. Not that I was going to judge him anyway, but the thing was, it was like, hey, don't think just because you did it in Vegas doesn't make it not stick to who you really are. Like, I really feel like he might have been a crackhead in real life and just didn't know where to go get it, or he was going to be judged by the people that's closest to him. And I feel like, hey, if you are hoish in your hometown, but you kind of try to turn your life around, and then you went to Vegas and took on some of those hoe activities, yeah, you was probably a hoe to begin with. And same thing with this crackhead dude. Like, I feel like he was definitely on some crackhead type stuff. And yeah, that was definitely one of my more entertaining rides. Like I said, with Lyft, Phoenix up watching. You shouldn't have her watching this. This parental advisory. I don't want her to look at Uncle Jay kind of crazy. But yeah, that's some of my Lyft stories. And like I said, I have Lyft stories for every show, maybe more than one. But look, I appreciate everybody for watching. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, sharing. I love all the support. I know it's kind of late, but shout out to my little Phoenix for watching. But yeah, I appreciate everything, man. This is all so humbling, and y'all have been great. Y'all have been a great crowd. Look, make sure every first and third Monday of the month I will be on. I want to also thank my sponsor for this show, Beyond Clean. Ms. Shannon, I will get you the information so you can sponsor next month's show. Next month I will be on March 6th. I will have my brother in town, and he's a lot like I am. So this is going to be, you thought today was wild. This is going to be a little bit better next. He's actually going to be in studio. So we gonna get this thing rolling. Like I said, I want to make sure that I continue to give you the best content, I want to have y'all laugh and keep y'all entertained, and also have you learn a little bit when you come watch. And like I said, just let me know how I can make it better, because that's what I want to do. I want to continue making this thing better. I want to continue to grow this thing. I do appreciate everything. If you're not following me on Instagram already, follow me on Instagram. It's Not the Fake Jay Brown. That's NOTTHEFAKE. J. Brown. All right. Also, 710 to Slickville on YouTube. 710 to Slickville on Twitter. Also, Slick 710 on Snapchat. I think I hit everything. If you don't follow me on there, I don't care. As long as y'all show up here every first and third Monday at 9 o'clock. Go ahead and download that Instinct Radio app if you hadn't already done it. Hey, I appreciate all y'all. Have a good night. Love you.
The biggest station in the world, playing all of today's hits. You're listening to Instinct Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're now tuning into the very best. It's yours truly, Jazzy